So, I've cooked up a little game for us here. I'm going to be showing you a slide of a Pokemon, in which case you will both guess which driver it is. Upon reveal, you'll be scored points. But in addition, I have also added in a little tagline for each driver, as they do for Pokemon, like the electric mouse Pokemon, or some dumb bullshit like that. If you can guess that descriptor, you get a bonus point.
Who's that driver?
Starting out, we have Charmeleon. Dallas, Andrew, who's that driver?
My gut is going with the Count, Sebastian Buemi. Little firecracker, got some spunk and moxie to him.
My instinct is Antonio Felix da Costa. I don't know why, but I'm just feeling it from his driver picture.
All right. And does anyone want to take a guess on the title of this driver?
Fiery Passion.
Forgettable in the middle.
Andrew is probably the closest. This is Sasha Fenestraz, the E driver. Now, I pick this because this is his sophomore year, so he's essentially kind of like a middle-of-the-road Pokemon. But he has the potential to become everyone's favorite Pokemon.
The most badass Pokemon.
I like that.
He's a very eager driver.
I like that.
Next driver. Who's that driver?
I feel like it's one of the Kiwis. I'm going to guess Nick Cassidy.
Nick Cassidy? Okay. Dallas, who's that driver?
Just coming off of Tokyo, I'm going to go with the Gunt because he showed his teeth. He's got a bite to him, but also just kind of just hair that you just kind of want to pet.
So anyone want to take a crack at the title of this driver?
Woof.
Yeah, I was going to say, they got that dog in them?
All right, and the driver is Sam Bird, the divorcee driver, with the same bleach blonde hair.
The hair.
Fuck.
It's the hair.
I thought for sure Sam Bird had to be a bird, though.
Yeah.
I was waiting on like a
That was my
Pidgey
initial
eye.
instinct. That was my initial instinct. All right, next driver. I think you've all started to figure out the rhythm. It is mostly which Pokemon looks like this. All right, next driver and Pokemon. Who's that Pokemon?
My guess is Danny Boy because of that flowing hair, and he wants to fly free like a bird, but he just can't.
Dan is an excellent guess, but just to be different, I'm going to say Max Gunther because of the way his hair is slicked back.
Ooh, that's probably it. I like that.
It is Nico Muller, the bird-ass looking Pokemon driver. Why? Because he looks like a bird. And side by side, you sit down, you realize he does look exactly like a bird. All right.
I would have guessed the slogan, I'm not Sam Bird.
That's right. Next Pokemon. This one I'll say is mostly a vibe thing, but also there is some identity between the two, driver and Pokemon.
I'm going to guess Robin.
I'm going to guess the Stoffman.
Stoffman?
Van Dorn. Yeah.
Ooh.
That would be a pretty good guess, but unfortunately both of you were wrong. It is Nick Cassidy, the friendly driver.
That's a good one, and also just fucking OP.
Exactly. Very, very powerful Pokemon stat-wise.
Oh,
Nick Cassidy, very powerful driver stat-wise.
But it also doesn't have any wrists.
They also have the same color eyes, which I thought was pretty endearing when I was making this. Who's that Pokemon?
Who stinks? Who looks like the most stinkiest driver?
I think we can probably make a general assumption universally.
I'm going to let Dallas guess first on this one.
I think, to my chagrin, it's Dan Tictum.
Norman Nato.
Okay. Now, I picked this one for a multitude of reasons. One, this driver has had a history and our very first diarrhea DNF and has consistently had gastrointestinal issues, but also the texture of the skin reminds me of J.K. Penny Hughes, the irritable bowel driver.
Fuck, the lore,
They lined
too.
up.
The lore of
The
him
lore,
working in the coal
everything
mines.
lined up.
Damn
for
it.
this, you know. Yeah, we're starting to fall behind, boys. You are 0 for 0. It is a scoreless game so far.
We are Mahindra.
One of us is going to score one. Once we
feel
get to
like
the last driver.
These felt very intuitive when I was making them, but I knew that I was pulling some risk in doing the irritable bowel driver, but I hope that it's a little more clear now. Who's that driver? This one is a lot more conceptual, but I think it is maybe the strongest comparison between a driver and the Pokemon.
I'm going to guess my boy Pascal.
I feel like my guess, this might be the one that I get right, because I'm at an advantage because I've been here every single episode and I've spent a lot of time editing. And there is a driver that, Taylor, you have referred to as a sort of phantom. And that is the glass wrist man, Robin Frines. So I'm going to go with Robin Frines.
Do you have a tagline for this one?
You can't see his wrists because they're invisible.
The wristless driver, Robin Frines.
That's a bonus
Dallas,
point then. That's pretty much.
That is going to be 2 points. That is 2 points, Dallas, on the board.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to point this out because in making this slideshow, I recognized something harrowing. He has his wrist injury on display on his driver profile.
Nice.
You know, it is amazing to see a man's where he's come from. You know, he's showing his scars. All right. This is a very close vibe selection because I don't know who the fuck this Pokemon is or what they're doing.
It's far-fetched.
Apparently they're...
Yeah,
I know they're far-fetched, but I have no real understanding of this Pokemon in the same way that I don't really understand this driver. But they're always there.
I think we're starting to get in the swing of things. I think I have this one right as well. I'm going to go with Norman Nato because they share a similar, really stylish V-shaped unibrow. And I feel like because Norman Nato is French, that they use a lot of leeks in their cuisine. I could be wrong, but that's my guess.
So I was also going to guess Norman Nato, but to be different, I'm going to guess the only other person I see with jump out eyebrows, and that's Sergio.
Does anyone have a tagline for this driver they would like to propose?
Fear the brow.
I can't top that.
Dallas, you are correct. It is Norman Nato, the other driver.
The unknown kind of whatever Pokemon.
Exactly. It's the other driver who's there and oftentimes carries all the TMs that you need to get through the obstacles in Pokemon, which is what I guess Farfetch'd is most used for. This one is maybe the more abstract of them, but this truly comes down to, I looked at this guy and I said, these two kind of look alike. And maybe there's some intention behind that, but also I'm a little creeped out by this Pokemon, and the same way that I'm creeped out a little bit by this driver, I'm going to ask you to dig deep.
I'm going to go with...
This one also would have been a pretty good one for Sam Bird, now knowing what his feet rating is. I think these are probably 3.5 feet, if I'm being honest, on WikiFeet. Men.
Is this Gunther?
Want to add a tagline or anything?
The German sleeper?
Dallas, who's that driver?
Well, you said that you're a little weirded out by this driver, so I know it's not Nick DeVries because you are very freaked out by him. So
deeply concerned.
I'm going to go with, and I don't know if it necessarily follows it, but I don't fully know how you subtly feel about his teammate, Ito. So I'm going to guess Ito, and my tagline is just going to be... Go!
Well... It is Maxi Gunther.
Ooh.
And it's the Aryan driver. There's nothing quite particular that screamed Aryan about this Abra, but it is kind of almost similar spelling to Aryan.
I almost would have done a Ninetales there.
That was my initial thought, but I thought this one was funnier because it looks kind of uncomfortable in the way that looking at Max Gunther feels uncomfortable in like a weird way, like I don't know, like maybe like fuck someone.
Like he can culture. See into your genetics.
Yeah, like add some new blood into your bloodline, your heritage. Who knows? Just too white.
Does Andrew get two? Andrew, what was your tagline? Just the German driver?
The German sleeper?
The German sleeper, which frankly, I prefer that more than the Aryan driver. So I'm going to give Andrew 2 points for that. Okay. So it is 3-2.
Back in it.
It's 3-2. Who's that driver, guys?
Oh.
This one is probably my favorite selection.
Given that this has been mainly some sort of connection of like physical features of drivers.
This one is also deeply connected to their personality. Both physical and personal bond between this Pokemon and this driver.
I'm going to go with Degrassi.
You think this is Degrassi?
Kind of a little slithery snake on track.
I'm going to go with Ito because his eyes look too far apart.
Oh, I'm disappointed that neither one of you have gotten this one because this is Count Buemi.
Oh.
And I picked this one for a couple of reasons. One, they both spit a lot. In fact, Ekans' main attack is its poison spit. They both hiss, and at the same time, they're also both completely non-threatening in reality. So this is Count Buemi. All right. Who's that driver?
He's pretty cool. That's Jake Dennis.
You think this is Jake Dennis? You want to give it a tagline?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I'll circle back around to my previous guess. This one might be right. I'm going to guess Lucas Degrassi, and the tagline is, fuck you, I'm going to cut you up.
This is the dangerous driver.
Basically driving with
the butcher.
knives and...
Yeah, the butcher.
The butcher, yeah.
The butcher has showed up. Lucas Degrassi. Initially, when I was building this out, I chose Lucas Degrassi as Charizard because he's kind of the OG. But after watching the Tokyo race, I quickly changed it to the butcher's lifestyle, which is going to be Caesar here. Most dangerous driver on the road.
Like Voltorb for that one.
The self-destruct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's that driver, guys?
I think I'm going to go with the Staff on this one. Kind of matching that DS Penske Gold. Gives anyone that finds themselves at a Waffle House late at night that nice jolt that they need. I'm going with the Staff.
I was thinking Stoffel as well, but I'm going to go with Mitch fucking Evans.
Why are you going with Mitch Evans?
Because he's just like a little electric boy. I don't know.
So, all right.
That's the tagline.
Mitch Evans, little electric boy. For both of you, I'm somewhat disappointed. I thought this one was a little more legible. This is Jake fucking Dennis, the cool driver.
Damn it.
Because he is not only the fastest, but he's also the most electrifying driver on the grid. Andrew, Dallas, who's that Pokemon? In my mind, there's two options for this one, so it is kind of a coin flip between these two drivers because I think they're both doing a lot of carrying on track and off.
Well, with the hint, maybe JEV, the old carrying the new.
That makes very little sense, but you know what?
That's what I'm best
at. There's no stupid guesses, just stupid people.
Again, I think this one puts me at an advantage for being a part of the show. I'm not even going to guess. That's Antonio Felix da Costa. He's serving his superiors, which is Porsche and Porsche's AI project, Pascal Wehrlein. That's Dak right there. Does
anyone want to take a crack at the title of this driver?
The AI caretaker.
It is the caretaker Pokemon. It's da Costa. Dallas is running away with this.
Yeah, we kind of knew that was how it was going to end up, didn't we?
I didn't. I had some hope for you. But there's plenty more drivers to go. This was a total vibe and aesthetic choice.
I think that's the rookie Daruvula because I don't know if those are ears, but I feel like those are similar to the size of Daruvula's ears. And then that Maserati blue, so I'm going to go with Daruvula.
Andrew, would you like to make a better guess?
Maybe I'll pivot to Dan Tictum, and it's going to be, let's see, what did he say about the energy readings? Like, I don't even care anymore. Like, it doesn't matter.
It is Dan Tictum, the brat driver.
So disrespectful.
I saw this one, and I realized I couldn't pick anyone else other than Dan Tictum for this, because not only is he definitely just a middle-evolved Pokemon who's not good at any one thing, but he's also got a little shitty attitude, just like this little mid-evolved Pokemon. And that is 2 points.
That's 2 points?
That's 2 points. Who's that Pokemon? And who's that driver? Pokemon also doing a lot of carrying in the same way this driver is doing some carrying.
Is this Pascal? I'm going to go with Pascal on this one.
Dallas, who's that Pokemon?
Andrew, we asked you before we started recording if you had listened to an episode yet, and you accurately and humbly admitted no, which is showing now.
Really would have helped you out in this challenge.
That is the Daddy Roland, and the tagline is, "Fuck these kids, we drive."
This is the daddy driver, Daddy Roland.
I was so expecting him to be Snorlax.
Yeah. I was trying to steer away from an incredibly offensive one, so I leaned more towards the fatherhood route. But Kangaskhan felt most fitting, as he is nurturing and looking after young Fenestraz. This one's my favorite. This one is strictly physical features.
Is this John Eric Byrne? No. I changed. This is definitely Nick DeVries.
Nick DeVries.
No, but it has no teeth.
That's true. There is no teeth. I would have been pretty upset with you for choosing Nick DeVries, as I would certainly incorporate teeth.
Is this Mitch fucking Evans?
I don't like the lack of confidence Andrew has in that pick, because I was going to pick Mitch Evans, because just looking at his driver picture on the site, he has these same tired eyes, those hypnotic, like, tired eyes, and he's also holding his hands up. Oh, shit. He's holding his hands up like he's hypnotizing. So I would have guessed Mitch Evans and probably got the points, but I'll just do a throwaway and say John Eric Verne.
Does anyone want to put a tagline for this driver?
I need a nap.
It is Mitch Evans, the nose driver. As I realized in looking for a driver that embodied Mitch Evans, the sleepy eyes was one thing, but the scale of nose between both the Pokemon and the driver is pretty accurate. That was the only reason I picked this Pokemon. Dallas, who's that driver?
Andrew, are you thinking of the same driver I'm thinking of that has
How could I not be?
Can we just watch this one? Because it's no one else except Nick DeVries.
I think this is the last one. I'm pretty sure this is the last one.
Should we say it at the same time?
Oh, wait, no, this is not the last one.
There's still a few more drivers to go. How about for points, whoever can be closest to the tagline?
Okay, boys, who's that driver?
This is Nick
DeVries.
Let's get a tagline for that driver.
Bitey little Dutch mouse.
I'm going to say 90% teeth.
It is Nick DeVries, the biting driver. I think
Dallas gets the point.
Oh, man. Starting to run away with it on this one.
No, I got the next one. Watch.
This one's easier than you think.
I'm going to guess Daruvula, and the tagline will be playing it safe at the back.
Oh, God. Dallas, who's that driver?
I'm going to guess Stoff, because they kind of have that similar, like, eye smolder.
Yeah, the lazy, tuckered out eye smolder.
Stoffel goes hard.
It is Ihan Daruvula. Andrew, with 2 points, ties up the game.
That doesn't seem right, but I'll take it.
I just think that he is afraid of every moment he has on track. I mean, as we learned from Team Radio, he was nearly ready to just end it because he lost a bit of his wing and was scared about it falling out under his tires. So this is the safe driver, playing it safe in the back. Boys, who's this driver?
I don't know. JEV again.
You think it's Jev?
That's who I was going to pick. I don't have a secondary. I'll just say Stoffel again just to get a guess out.
What about a tagline, you two?
Not worth the points.
The scrappy, scratchy flow guy.
In theme with all of the other taglines I've had so far. The sharp driver, a.k.a. the pointy driver, Andrew. That is going to be another 2 points.
No. That's just 1 point. I didn't get the tagline, right?
Dallas, who's that driver?
I think that one is Sergio set to camera because he's Brazilian, and what's on the back of, was that Bulbasaur or what's the next evolution of Bulbasaur? Ivysaur. Whichever one it is that looks like Brazilian flora. And if it's a mid-level evolution, then it's like the same thing of like Sergio can go far and eventually become a formidable Venusaur, but for the time being it's stuck in the ERT and kind of sucks balls. So I'm going Sergio.
And I'm gonna go Pascal just because his head is kind of square. And Bulbasaur's head is kind of square.
Very square heads for both Pascal and Ivysaur. That's definitely what I was leaning into for this selection. Does anyone want to put a tagline down for this?
Always getting tangled up.
If you love it, let it grow.
The last chance driver, Sergio, set a Chimera. Dallas, that is going to be a point for you, bringing it to the final two drivers. Who's that Pokemon? This Pokemon looks
you guys have been talking about the AI all day. This is Pascal.
Do you want to provide a tagline for this Pokemon?
Beep boop bop, beep boop bop.
So that definitely is Pascal. I'm gonna go the nuts and bolts metal driver.
It is Pascal.exe, the machine learning driver. So that is going to be 1 point leading into the final Pokemon.
So this comes down to whoever gets the
tagline.
Right.
Correct. Who is that Pokemon?
Stoffel's the only one left.
Yeah, it is Stoffel.
Stoffel is the only one left.
It's Stoffel. So
we know it's Stoffel, but it's going to come down to the tagline.
The electric rat.
The electric rat driver. Dallas.
I'm going to go with the tagline for Stoffel and Raichu is going to be that jolty little mouse.
It's Stoffel, the virgin Pokemon.
Why is it the virgin Pokemon?
I don't know. There's something about him that makes me feel like he's never experienced sexual intercourse, and just how good and friendly and sincere a man he is. But also, I feel like there's just a lack of life experiences based on his personality. That reminds me of both Raichu and a virgin.
Okay.
It was either that or it was going to be the Narc Pokemon, because he definitely ratted out Penske last year at Portland. But he doesn't seem as critical as a Narc. That is going to take us to the end. Andrew, come from behind victory in the Pokemon naming game. But wait! There is one more Pokemon!
I'm trying to think who we haven't done.
Exactly.
The most forgettable Pokemon.
Andrew.
Oh, shit.
Who is that Pokemon?
Is it Ito? Is he the one who we haven't done yet?
Yeah. It is Ito.
What's that Pokemon's tagline?
The pointless driver.
I do like that one more, but Ito does deserve some points.
The Journey to Cameo driver.
It's Ito, the cameo driver. Dallas ties it up on the last driver. Oh my god. I frankly forgot about Ito myself as the final driver.
I was like so sure we were out of drivers.
How do we break the tie, though? That's important.
Taylor chooses one driver and we each choose a Pokemon that represents them.
I want you both to come up with a better Pokemon for Robin Friends.
Ooh, okay.
His was good with the Phantom Wrists.
Mm-hmm. I want to see you top that. The wristless driver. 3, 2, 1.
Mankey.
Execute.
Dallas, what makes you pick Mankey?
Because he's got these like fixed wrists up top. And he's scrappy, and his feet are 2 out of 5. We never saw Robin Friends' feet.
That's true. We did not see the feet. We can only imagine that his ankles are as busted as his wrists.
But it's got these fixed wrists that are in probably a optimized position, much like Robin Franz's wrists are in an optimized position to now drive post injury. And then, Mankey is, one of those Pokemon that just, if it gets on your head and starts just going at it, you're probably going to get your face ripped off. And I feel like Robin Franz is capable of that, but kind of unassuming of like, oh, it's just a little Mankey, a little monkey thing. And then, you're missing an ear and an eye and part of your cheek.
Yeah, so I did ask because Andrew's made a lot of sense to me when I saw it, and yours didn't make any sense to me when I saw it, and you didn't really make it any more clear to me, so I'm going to have to give the win to Andrew on that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Dallas, the scars being ever present in the Executor were a pretty brilliant stroke, a genius there. The wounded Pokemon, the glass Pokemon.
Well, shit.